Okay, let's get started. Thank you so much for joining us. So today, Friday, May 1st, 2026, it's about 1:30 local time here in the Bay Area, California. So thank you all so much for joining, for those in attendance now, and then for those who watch this in the future. Um, so let's get started. So this is our first of a three series first info session of three. Sorry. um so with this session will be on the general kind of overview of the program. We have an info session on Monday at noon, and that is going to focus on the application itself. And then on Wednesday, the 6th, in the afternoon as well. And that will focus on the two statements, the statement of purpose and personal history statement that are required for the application. So let's get started. Yes, so this is the Master of Advanced Study in Engineering. We call it Mass E. And it is a completely remote, offline, asynchronous degree. It was started in fall 2024. And so we have our first graduate this term. Currently there's about 75 in the program, and we're just growing our numbers each term. We are taking applications for fall right now, and our spring application will be open soon and as well. And that summer, fall, and spring are closing out this academic year, and then the summer 2027 will be open along with fall and spring for the next academic year. So welcome everybody. I'll give you a Mass E overview. We'll talk about our program structure and concentrations. We'll talk about learning experience and support, costs and funding options, the admissions and upcoming timeline, and then we'll leave time for a Q&A. This is our wonderful student services team. I'm Janine Bernard. I'm the Associate Director for Student Services here at the Fung Institute. We also manage the residential Master of Engineering program along with our 7 engineering departments. Then we have Mars Rivas. He's our Senior Admissions Officer. Unfortunately, he was out today, but he is enjoying his time off. And we have Maritzi Perez, our student affairs and academic advisor. So this is your trustee student services team. Um, so what is Mass E? Sorry, I just saw there was a question. Okay, it was just a thank you. Okay, so what is Mass E? Master of Advanced Study in Engineering. This is Berkeley Engineering's first fully online master's program. It's built for engineers, STEM professionals, and recent engineering graduates as well. The courses are created and taught by Berkeley engineering faculty and lecturers. This is a professional degree focused on immediately applicable skills that are in demand. So a lot of our students are already employed in their areas of interest out in their industry. But sometimes, you have to learn, you have to expand your knowledge, especially in the realm of engineering and, you know, technology with things changing so rapidly. Um, our learning model is 100% online, as mentioned, and fully asynchronous, meaning that there's no there's no live portion of the program. The only live things are office hours, but basically you can, you know, look at the material and finish it all in a month or pace yourself out. And it's really up to you. And that's why it's flexible so that working professionals are able to complete this on their own timeline. It's self-paced. So, we recommend that you study each week. As mentioned, there's no required live lectures. There is support via GSIs, graduate student instructors, and that's just the long way we call a TA here at Berkeley. There are live faculty office hours and tutors and peer groups as well. Then there is a community on Slack. And we have students from all over the world. So it's really a global peer network as well. Um, so the program structure, 24 total units. That's the magical number that you need to graduate. And so you don't want to do more in this structure because every unit costs money. So you want to meet the required units and that's it. Um, so most courses are 1 unit and the capstone is 2 units. Typical path is 22 units, 22 courses slash units, plus a 2 unit capstone. And again, it's flexible paced. So, you know, anywhere between 2 to 4 years, depending on if you enroll in classes fall, spring, and summer, and depending on how many classes you enroll in each term. We're gauging most people will complete in 2 to 3 years. So, like I said, we are just coming up on our first graduate of the program who was enrolled since fall 2024. And so that's 24, fall, spring 25, summer 25. So that's 5 terms. And I believe he took 5 units for 4 terms for 20. And then the last term, he's taking 4 units to get to that 24. Um, and one important requirement of this program is there is this thing called academic residency, different from, you know, immigration and where you file your taxes, but residency is tied to your enrollment to the university. And so the rule is students must enroll in at least 2 terms with 4 units or more that term. But it doesn't have to be consecutive. So you can take, you know, two terms of 5 units and then the rest, complete the rest of the 14 units, depending on your pace. You can do however many units and less than 5 or less than 4, but as long as you have 2 terms of 4 units or more, you'll meet that requirement. And so we have 3 interdisciplinary concentrations. There's interim advanced electronics manufacturing and materials, AEMM, interim energy infrastructure and the environment, EIE, and interim AIML robotics and controls, AIRC. So in terms of these courses, concentrations, there's courses that are tied to each concentration that must be met, the requirements must be met. And then, so you take required courses in your chosen concentration, and then you choose electives across the catalog. And if you haven't yet, please go to our website, and that's Mass E. Let me see. Let me just confirm the correct URL. But while I do that, oh my gosh, let me keep going. Okay. And then we have, so the 24 units, 22 are tied to courses at 1 unit each. And then there is a capstone experience, which is a 2 unit course. And that we try to integrate and apply learning to a real world engineering challenge. And so you'll receive guidance from Berkeley faculty and lecturers, and there you'll be given an industry inspired problem to work with them, and you'll be given context. And so you will be able to build a portfolio ready outcome aligned to your goals. And an advisor is assigned to your capstone, and then you would work with them. And you can also reach out to the Fung Institute if ever you have any questions as well. I'm dropping the Mass E website link there. If you haven't already browsed it and perused it. So here's a program overview. It's flexible and customizable for working professionals. It's 100% online. It's asynchronous with optional office hours with Berkeley faculty, and 1 unit courses can be completed in 7 weeks. So the spring and fall are 15 weeks total, with summer being 12 units. So if you pace yourself well, you can finish in half the term. But again, this is made flexible precisely because maybe in a fall 2026, you're super busy and can only take 1 or 2 units. Then maybe the next spring term, you find yourself that you have more time, you have more bandwidth, and you can take more on. Um, and you can also enroll in classes after the start of the term. Um, and all of this information is shared with current students because there's a lot of policy that wouldn't make sense right now until you're enrolled in a matriculated student. Um, so flexible and customizable. Then we have the three interdisciplinary concentrations we just learned about: AEMM, EIE, and then AIRC. And so again, the degree requirements are 24 units, and there's for each of these concentrations, each concentration has 8 units, and then there's 14 unit electives that you must take, and then a capstone of 2 units. And if you go on the website, if you go into courses, you can definitely play around in the course details. There's a browse courses section where you can filter by concentrations and filter by electives, and each course that's listed has a little icon next to it denoting whether it's a concentration or whether it's an elective. So and it's a pretty easy to use little tool. Um, and so some of the courses offered, so these are new courses as of this term. Engine 234, that's Intro to Data Structures and Software Engineering, and Engine 288, Electronic Properties of Materials. And some popular courses that have been that we've noted because there's a high enrollment of these are Engine 222, 210A, 223, and 281. And then in terms of costs and funding, so quick and important note, this program is a self-supporting program. So federal aid is not available. About 90% of our students are self-funded, or they also have an agreement with their employer where the employer pays part or all of the fees. And there's a program, there's a unit on campus called the third party PPC, third party contract unit. And so if you have an employer that is willing to foot the bill, there's a whole process, and we put you in touch with that unit on campus, and then they issue an invoice and get that paid off. But that being said, so costs are determined by unit. So as of now, and our fees aren't set to go up this year, but we don't know about 2028. But for 2026, 2027, and for this current academic year that's closing, tuition is 1,750 per unit. So that equals about 42,000 total for the 24 units of curriculum required. On top of that, there are also campus fees, which total about $1,000 per term. And this is under the UC system. So every July, the UC system and UC regents, they vote and decide on what the campus fees are. So those usually go up about 3%. So should be roughly 1,000, but maybe a little bit more. Some common funding paths: employer tuition assistance, and then external scholarships. Uh, there are Massey scholarships available, but these are limited and not guaranteed. We open up our scholarship to everybody in the fall. That means new and continuing students. Um, and all students are eligible to receive one award per academic year. So after the fall, in the spring and summer, any new students that in those terms will be the only subset of students eligible for these scholarships. And they can only receive one award per academic cycle. And roughly the amounts cover 1 to 2 courses. So it can be an award for 1,750 or for $3,500. Um, and again, this is if you take, 3 units and get a scholarship for two, then the the tuition difference and any campus fees would be the responsibility of the student. And then, yeah, as mentioned, there is also a campus fee payment plan, and then along with the third party contracts where the employer pays the campus directly that I was just mentioning, TPC, third party contract. In terms of who typically enrolls, so what we see is mostly working professionals, many with 5 years of experience or more. We also get some recent graduates from their bachelor's. And it's as I mentioned at the very beginning, global cohort across industries and time zones. So we have people here not here, people attending the program from China, from Detroit, from Kentucky, so all over the world. I think we have somebody in Saudi Arabia. So yeah, so global cohort across industries and time zones. So it might make, some communications hard, but there is a Slack channel that everybody kind of uses to communicate. And so this is also good for learners balancing career, family, and study. And so that is the hallmark of this program: flexibility. Um, we're all humans first, and so we can't just go, go, go. We have responsibilities that take time to work through, and we are not always we're not just students, we're not just workers, we're full human beings. And so that's what this program wants to be flexible for, to make space for all the things that our lives require. And as of this term, spring 2026, which is just about to wrap up, about 90% of our students are employed full time. And then we are counting 37% as half-time students with three or more classes, and then about 55% are part-time students with less than those classes. And yeah, so like I said, we're just graduating our first student from the program. We have 2 or 3 more ready to graduate in the summer, and so I think from now on we've kind of hit a tipping point where moving forward we'll always be graduating at least one or more students per cohort. And then important part, admissions and upcoming deadlines. So applications are reviewed holistically. That means we take into account your academic preparation, professional experience, your goals, and everything that's in your application, right? Your essays, your letters of recommendation, your CV. Just we want to get a good sense of who you are and make a determination based on that. So for people who aren't interested and kind of have their application already started, go ahead, choose a concentration, add application. So it would be one of those three: the AEMM, the EIE, and then the AIRC. So and you can make a change, but I would, if you apply, get in and decide to enroll, I would just ask that any change in concentration be communicated to us, and also that you make it as soon as possible, so that you're not taking classes that that wouldn't count, right? And so we just want to make sure that once you're set with your concentration, we kind of have a path for you and streamline things as much as possible and use your time wisely. Um, yeah, go ahead, choose a concentration at the application, and then the electives do allow exploration. So if you do choose, say, EIE as a concentration, but you end up taking an elective that's more for AEMM, then maybe that would spark a change. And so we would just want to know, and it's totally okay. We want you to explore. You're the one that's going to be going through this program. So it behooves you to make the best choice for you, your goals, and where you want to be in the industry in the future. And so applications are open for fall 2026. We do have a priority deadline, which is May 13th, so just about 2 weeks from now. And well, that would be today's May 1st, so just a little bit less than 3 weeks from now. It would be in 2 Wednesdays. The final deadline is on June 7th, 2026. Um, so a couple of things with the priority deadline. So um we are advertising a free or a waiver of your application submission if you apply by the 13th. And we also have sent emails through the admissions portal system. We would require you to submit the application by 5/13 and also complete our Google Sheet to sign up for a waiver. Um, and then the waiver is open to the first 30 who apply in this deadline, in this priority deadline. And so you would submit your application without payment, and then we would make the payment on the back end right after the application deadline passes. Um, and then the other benefit for priority deadline would be, we are also hoping to turn around admissions decisions earlier. So if you submit it by the 13th, and submit your request for a waiver, then we would probably be able to turn this around by late May or early June. And then if you apply by the final deadline, that's fine, but we would not be able to offer the waiver, and we would not be able to, then you would have to wait until maybe July, or no, end of June. So it would be faster because their fall starts, but it would still be sometime after that June 7th deadline. Um, and so some questions that we've received from folks is, do courses fill up? No, no, there are no seat caps once a course is live. And so because it's asynchronous and completely online, there is no cap. Are there live sessions? No, there's only optional office hours, like mentioned. Can employers pay directly? Yes, there is as we mentioned, the third party contracts unit on campus. And if you're interested in that and you apply, get in and enroll, I can help you through that. There's, like I said, there's a whole process for that. Do I need to be in the US? No, the program, again, is fully online. Do I get a student ID? This is optional because a lot of folks won't be on campus. But for those that are local, they are eligible for a student ID. They just have to go I think, upload a picture and then pick it up from the Cal One card office. Um, and so next steps, go ahead, explore concentrations, and maybe even draft a tentative course plan. Check in with your employer if they do offer tuition benefits and what those timelines are. And then prepare your application materials and statement of purpose along with the personal history statement. So as mentioned, we have another session on Monday, we have Monday at noon, and then we have Wednesday at 2:30. So the Tuesday will be the Monday will be at 12, and that will be on applications, and then the Wednesday session will be on the statement of purpose and personal history statement, and that will be at 2:30 p.m. These are all California times, by the way. So with that, I just want to open up the floor to any questions, comments. You can feel free to put your camera on, go off mute, or if you want to chat, we are open to that too. So yeah, so right now for the next, we're a little bit early. It's just about to be 2 o'clock, so we have some time if anybody wants to make use of this Q&A. Okay. If there are no questions, then we could just end here. Thank you. I'm going to go off. I'm going to turn off the recording. Thank you. Recording.